Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's do the unboxing and have a first look at this iPhone 14 Pro. And guys, this is a retail unit that I had purchased. It's not a review unit or anything, and this is the official Indian unit that I have purchased. And guys, as of now, currently the stocks is a big issue with these new iPhone Pros, and it was very difficult for me to get it. Though I had pre-ordered, I couldn't get it, and finally actually I had to ask Faisal Communications, and they arranged one unit and I could get it at MRP price. As of now, a lot of these units, if you really want it immediately in the offline market, many vendors are actually, offline vendors are charging 10,000, even 15,000 rupees more. Just don't pay to them, guys. It's just a initial stock issue problem. Once these units are available in online on Amazon, on stuff like that, these will be easily available. I was checking Amazon, I'll leave the link. It says from 24th September you should have it, and for this new color from 28th September onwards you should be, stock should be there. So just wait, don't pay these extra fees to these scrupulous offline dealers, especially in Hyderabad. It's happening a lot. And this is the new color, guys. Apart from this, we have the regular colors also. This is the purple or something they call it, and here let's just open it up, and this is the regular version, guys. No way it says anywhere iPhone 14 Pro or whatever. So this is the regular version, and we also have the Max in this one. And this time actually in the Pro version, Apple had made a lot of changes. The iPhone 14 regular one is nothing but a version of the iPhone 13 that does not even have the new processor. That's the Bionic chip that this one actually has. This has the A16 Bionic chip, and again, as it's an Apple, you don't get a lot of stuff. You get this image ejector tool, some stickers over here that you get. It's in white color, and what do you say, cable over here, type C. This is a type C to a lightning one. Sadly, I was hoping this year at least Apple moves to type C, but no, that's not the case. We're still having the lightning connector. So let me just put this back here, and let's have a look at this one. And this is my iPhone 13 Pro, the earlier one, and switched off. Again, not a huge difference, but one thing I immediately notice is that this also rocks a little bit, but this definitely rocks a little bit more. So the camera bump is definitely a lot more higher, if you notice. So that is something that I've noticed. And again, the new iPhone Pros, both the regular and the Max, have the new 48 megapixel sensor. Earlier, Apple used to always go 12 megapixel sensor, but now they bumped it to 48 megapixel, and it's using pixel binning. Regular shots you come out to 12 megapixel itself, but again, you can also shoot up to 48 megapixel. Physical overview. Over here, top one, nothing. Here we have the power on off button, and bottom will be the stereo speakers, and here nothing. And we have a SIM tray. Again, guys, remember, if you're buying this from US, the US versions don't have the physical SIM tray, but the Indian ones do have it. So it's one nano SIM, and the other SIM will be eSIM. In the US, there is no physical a SIM slot. So again, be aware. The volume rockers, this is the alert slider that you have. Back, that triple camera setup. Main is 48 megapixel, then 12 megapixel is ultra wide, and then again one more 12 megapixel. That's a proper 3x telephoto zoom. Front facing camera is also supposed to be 12 megapixel, and now the notch has been changed. They have actually elongated the notch. I would call it the dynamic notch, but Apple likes to call it the dynamic display. So we'll have a look at the same. Now let me just quickly boot this up. In terms of weight, not much a big difference, I would say, in terms of weight that I'm noticing immediately. If I pick one over the other, maybe it's slightly heavier, very slightly, yes, very slightly. And again, this is the new notch that we are having. Apple likes to call this the dynamic island. The earlier notch was fixed, as you can see, but this one actually moves around when you use it. So let me just quickly set this up, and then we will continue. So guys, now I've played around with the iPhone for about 6-7 hours. Also took a lot of camera samples, so I'll show you. So let's have a look at this one. And the first thing is that, guys, if you notice, the screen is lit up. This one now has always on display, and this is actually the always on display. Yes, it's like this. Let me wake up the screen. This is how it is. And I was worried about this one, but that's how the always on works. So this is always on. So unlike Android phones, where the always on is very limited, here it's on by and here we have the dynamic island or whatever Apple likes to call it. Let me just zoom in. And again, typical iPhone, apart from this one, it actually feels like the iPhone 13 Pro. In fact, I would say it's technically 2 grams heavier, as I've told you, slightly, but again, you won't feel it. It's a heavy phone, but if you are always used to the Pro series, you will feel home towards this one. Again, if you unlock, you just get the unlock over here in the dynamic island, and this one actually grows with a few apps. For example, if the alert, this alert slider, if you move around, it shows you that you move to the silent mode or whatever. Again, goes back to the ring. So it expands and contracts like that. Even in the, what do you say, if you switch on the timer, let's switch on the timer, and if I just swipe it away, it is shown over here. You can just tap it and always goes back to this one, but if you hold it, you can interact with this one. So this is the dynamic island. Not all of the apps actually use it, but some of the apps intelligently use it for voice recorder, as I've told you, this and that, like this. So yes, it's the notch, but they're utilizing the notch now. But one thing I noticed is that immediately, for example, let's just play back my own video so I don't fall into copyright. Again, speakers are good. And if you notice, my aspect ratio is 20:9 I shoot. But if I go to the full screen, the spill will always be visible. So that is something that is there, and it can annoy you, because here on the regular iPhone, if we do the same thing, let's just open any video, whatever video, let's say whatever this video is. And here, if I expand, the notch as it's on the side, it's not that much intrusive, but here it is there. So that is something that I noticed. Maybe you will get used to this after some time, but that is something that I noticed immediately. Apart from that, this is having the latest A16 Bionic chip. Again, both the phones are very fast, so in day-to-day performance, you will not notice the difference, I would say. Again, the big thing about this one is this has the new panel. It's supposed to be a lot more battery efficient. It's a new LTPO panel that can go down to 1 Hertz. That's the reason they're able to do this always on. And Apple claims even with this always on, you should be able to get the full day worth of usage. That I can only comment after using it for a couple of days. But I thought this always on will drain a lot of battery, but in the past 5-6 hours, it did not drain that much battery. So looks like the LTPO screen is doing the job. Coming to India pricing, again, iPhones are very expensive in India, especially the Pro series are crazy. That's the same case. In fact, in India, the pricing of the Pro series had been increased by 10,000 rupees. Now, earlier it used to start at 1,20,000, but now the base variant is bumped up to 1,29,990. That's almost 1,30,000. That's 128 gigabytes, but you also get it in 256, 512, and even 1 terabyte. Again, I didn't even bother to check the pricing of the 1 terabyte in India because the pricing would be insane. But again, it feels like the iPhone. This is the big thing I would say on this one. And again, the buttons and the feel, all those things, a typical iPhone fashion, look good. Speakers, again, very similar to the iPhone 13 Pro. If I just let's play back some of the copyright free music to give you an idea. Again, I always like the, what do you say, iPhone speakers. That's the same case even with this one. What I like is the balance is good. The left and right on generally the iPhone. And let me increase it. They're actually pretty loud. This is the max. And block the bottom. Coming from the earpiece. Open that. So the speakers are good, just like the iPhone 13 Pro. Excellent speakers. Again, in terms of haptics also, iPhone is still actually giving very good haptic feedback. That is one problem that I have with Samsung flagships. I don't know what is wrong with Samsung in 2022. In all their flagships, even the Fold 4 and the S22 series, they have reduced the haptic feedback. But that's still actually very good on the iPhone. So you get that excellent haptic feedback even on this smartphone. I'm still disappointed that the charging speeds haven't increased. It's the same charging speeds that you get with iPhone 13 Pro series, and again, no charger in the box, so you have to use a PD charger. Guys, you can use any PD charger that is PD charging 2 compliant. You don't have to buy specific Apple charger. I'm using a third-party PD charger and it charged fine with this one. But again, in terms of charging speed, again, both Samsung's flagship and the iPhones are way behind the competition. Let's be just frank about that one. Okay, now let's also talk about the camera on this one, which is again a big deal because this is having the new 48 megapixel camera, as I've told you. So let me quickly just show you the interface. So this is the interface, and the new thing is that if you notice, we also have a 2x option. And what they are doing is, because it's a 48 megapixel sensor, they can just zoom in the center part and get a 2x without loss. So this is still using the main 48 megapixel sensor, but zooming in. The 3x is a proper telephoto zoom. So that's a new addition that we are getting. And again, iPhone cameras are very, very fast, so no issues. As you can see, let's just without any issue, it is just taking the samples. So again, typical software that you have portrait mode, your lighting mode, and all those things you do have on this one. And front facing is still a 12 megapixel. Again, this is the portrait mode, this is the regular mode. Actually show you some of the sample shots taken with this one now. Some indoor samples, and as you can see, they come out good. And I like the macro on this one. As you can see, the macro shots come out actually really, really good with the iPhone 13 Pro. Now some outdoor shots, this was regular, this was that 3x zoom, and this was finally ultra wide. This is a difficult shot, but I feel the shadows are crushed, as you can see with the arrow. I took one more shot and this came out slightly okay, but I also had the Moto Edge. The Moto Edge 30 Ultra is on the left, iPhone is on the right. Now zoomed in the picture by 50% and notice that the iPhone is actually crushing a lot of detail denoted by the arrows. So I hope in HDR the performance of the camera on the iPhone improves. This was shot in the regular mode and this was shot in the portrait bokeh mode. Again, this is a regular shot and this was shot in the portrait mode. So guys, this is the cinematic mode, but now in the 14 Pro, we do have an option of 4K. If you remember with the 13 Pro, it was only restricted up to 1080p now, but we can shoot up to 4K. So this is cinematic mode. So I should be in focus and the background should be blurred. But good thing that now we can shoot it in 4K also. So guys, this was a quick unboxing and first look at the iPhone 14 Pro, and I'm shooting this with the front facing camera of the iPhone 14 Pro. Again, I feel for Indian skin tones, the front facing camera still is not among the best. But again guys, this is just a first quick unboxing and initial impressions. I'll be testing the iPhone 14 Pro a lot more. So if you have any specific questions about the same, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to include them in my future videos, and I'll also try to do a camera comparison with some of the other smartphones if you guys would like. So guys, this is the iPhone 14 Pro. What do you guys feel about the same? Again guys, this is no way a review or something, just my initial first impressions of this device. So if you have any specific questions about this iPhone 14 Pro, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to make videos based on your questions, what you have with this one. My reviews do take time, so the full review will take some time, but in case you have specific questions about this device, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to include them in my future videos. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.